topic. In today also we are learning the same subject only, same unit only, but somewhat important topic which will come into the problem solving. So that topic is so now if you want to deal how much amount of up to now what we discuss means the heat will transfer from one body to other body. We are discussing it will transfer from hotter body to cold body. We are discussing like this. From now onwards, we are planning. Our subject will deal with how much amount of heat is going to transfer from one body to other body. That is our goal. So the topic, the field which is deals to about the measurements of the measurement of heat is named as the separate topic. Is that the topic is named as the calorimetry. Calorimetry. So calorimetry is nothing but it is a subject or it is a branch of physics which deals about the measurement of heat. So how much amount of heat is flowing from one body to other body. That means to deal the amount of heat which is transferring from one body to other body. These can be measured in the subject of calorimetry. This is the one of the separate subject is the calorimetry. You see, metry means it is a measurement method. Metry is in the word only it is telling that metry means measurement. So that is in the calorie means it is a unit of energy. So unit of energy means this subject will deals about the how much energy how much heat energy is transferred from one body to other body. So I am taking one the small concept. Let's assume I am taking one of the body which is having which having with mass of the body is equal to m. The specific heat of the substance is equal to C. Let's assume I am taking M1 and C1 which is at the temperature is equal to T1. So this body is bringing into the contact of another body. Let's assume this is the another body which is brought into the contact to another body. This body is at another temperature. This body is at another temperature. The temperature of the body is equal to T2 and mass of the body is equal to M2. The specific heat of the body is equal to specific heat of the body is equal to C2. So for our understanding, I am assuming that the temperature of the first body is higher than 2 compared to the temperature of the second body. That means T1 is greater than to the T2. Just our assumption. So we are already familiar these two bodies are in the contact. Then so there must be some of the heat will transfer from hotter body to colder body. Like this, the heat will be transferred. So after some time, what will happen means some of the amount of heat energy will transfer from hotter body means this body must be loose. This body can be it will lose some of the heat energy. Definitely it will lose some of the heat energy. So this the second body is taking the heat means definitely this body will gain. This body will gain some of the heat energy. Are you getting or not? Hello? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So that means what will happen after some time? If time is running, so after some time, what will happen means the two bodies will comes to at a constant temperature. At a constant temperature T, that is nothing but equilibrium temperature. So what is our deal? What is our goal of this present concept is what is the temperature of the equilibrium temperature of the attained by the two bodies. That is our goal. So will you please look on this one. This body is gaining some of the heat energy, which is nothing but the body which is lost by the hotter body. Both are same, na? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So that means this body is energy is gained only by loss of the some of the energy by the hotter body. That means we can say that the amount of the heat lost by the hotter body is equal to the amount of the heat gained by the colder body. Is it correct only? Na? That means the amount of heat lost by the hotter body is equal to hotter body. That is identically equal to the amount of the heat gained. So the amount of heat gained heat gained by the colder body. Is it correct only, no? Hello? Is it correct only? That is means. So these phenomena is named as this property is named as the principle of calorimetry. So this is these observation, these phenomena, these observation is named the principle of calorimetry. Principle of calorimetry. Well, no. You don't. We are not concentrating on that. So the substance is not mixing to one another. So it is the one of the iron rod. It is the another steel rod, like that we are taking. We are not allowing to mix the one substance to one and each other. That is not doing here. That will come into the thermodynamic picture. So we are concentrating, the Fugent content is concentrating only on the amount of heat which is transferring from one body to other body. Your doubt I am understand. That means you feel that some of the substance will come into the first body, some of the substance will go into the second body. You are asking that only, na?
Yes, sir.
So it is not allowing. The present, as per our present condition, this is not allowing in this one. So it is a open system. It will name it as a open system. So we are not allowing like that. Just we are allowing only heat energy to the another body. It is allowing. Only heat energy is allowing. So nothing we are not allowing. So that means this is the principle of calorimetry telling that. So the principle of calorimetry tells that the amount of heat energy lost by the hotter body is equal to the amount of heat gained by the colder body. That is the. So they may ask the question, what is the equilibrium temperature attained by the two bodies? They may ask the question like this, what is the formula for the equilibrium temperature attained by the two bodies? Now this is the very simple equation only, you can easily understand. So I hope it is no need that much concentration here. Let's assume here is the first body which is having mass m1, the specific heat capacity is the C1, at the temperature is the T1. This body is coming to the contact to another body which is having the mass m2, which is having the specific heat capacity C2, at the temperature is T2. So while they are bringing the contact to each other, the hotter bodies lose heat energy and they will attain to the constant temperature C2. T. They are the two bodies are attained at constant temperature T. Our goal is to find out these temperature only. That is our goal. First of all, I am looking on this one. How much amount of heat is transferred from the hotter body to cold body? That means first of all, look on this one. The first body is having the initial temperature T1. At final temperature, it meet to the temperature T only. Are you getting or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So it will come to the the final temperature T. That means the body is losing its energy. So in the changing temperature of T1 to T, how much heat will be lost by the body? So will you please look on this one? We are having the how much amount of heat energy will transfer in the given interval of temperature means we have the one of the formula Q is equal to MC into delta T. This is the formula for the amount of heat transferred in the given interval of temperature. Now I am applying the first body. The first body, how much energy heat is transferred from hot body is equal to the mass of the first body M1, the specific heat of the capacity of the first body C1, and changing temperature of the first body is equal to T1 minus T. T1 minus T. Because of here I need to represent here the temperature T1 is greater than to the T2, and also T1 is greater than to the small t, and T2 is lesser than to the capital T. So these are the easy, because of we are taking that T1 is the temperature of T2. So hot body is having more temperature than to the colder body. So after finally colder body is gained some of the temperature. That's why T2 is lesser than to the T. But hot body is lose its energy. That's why T1 is greater than to the T. Are you getting or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So let me take one of the examples. Some of the students they may confuse. Let me take is the final example. So it is in the, let's assume it is in the 100 degrees Celsius. let's assume it is the 30 degrees Celsius. You take any one of the temperature in between these. So because of after they are brought into the contact means the two bodies are attained the certain temperature. Let's assume I am taking the 60 degree. Only example I am taking. Let's assume put it in this one. Put it in this one. So 100 is greater than to the 100 degrees Celsius is greater than to the 30 degrees Celsius. Now if you look on this one, 100 degrees is going to the 60 degrees means 100 degrees centigrade is greater than to the 60 degrees centigrade. If you go to the 30 degrees centigrade is going to the 60 degrees centigrade. That is equal to 30 degrees centigrade is lesser than to the 60 degrees centigrade. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
No issue. No issue.
Sir.
Now, in the similar manner, it is the energy lost by the hot body. So while it is going to the equilibrium temperature. In the similar manner, energy gained by the colder body in the while it is attaining to the constant temperature, that is equal to m to C2 into, here is the important. What is the
T
value?
minus T2.
Yes, T minus T2. That is the change in temperature means final value minus initial value. Final value is equal to T minus T2. So according to principle of calorimetry, what is telling that? So according to principle of calorimetry, it is saying that heat, it is the hot body, it is the hot body, it is the cold body. Heat lost by the hot body is equal to heat gained by the cold body. According to heat lost by the hot body is equal to hot body is equal to heat gained by the cold body. This is the principle of calorimetry saying that. So now how much heat is lost by the hot body is equal to m1 c1 delta t. So delta t. Let me take like this. After that I will substitute. So m2 c2 delta t. We already know this one. m1 c1 into t1 minus t. That is equal to m2 c2 into t minus t2. So now I am multiplying this one just to distribute law I am following. So that is equal to m1 c1 t1 minus m1 c1 t is equal to m2 c2 t minus m2 c2 t2. Okay na? No issue na? No issue. So our goal is to find out the t value. That's why I am sending all t terms one side, remaining terms to other side. So it is the negative, it will come into this side, positive will come. If it is the negative, it will go to the other side, positive will come. So our goal is to find out t now, the t term I am writing left hand side. So this m1 c1 is the positive now, that is I am writing first initially m1 c1 t1 plus m2 c2 t is equal to, this is coming to this now, first initial I am writing one terms m1 c1 t1 plus m2 c2 t2. So here is the t term our goal. I am taking the common to t. So by taking the t is the common term. So that is equal to m1 c1 plus m2 c2. That is equal to m1 c1 t1 plus m2 c2 t2. So our goal is to find out the t only. That's why remaining all terms I am sending other side. So m1 c1 plus m2 c2 t2 divided by m1 c1 plus m2 c2. This is the final equilibrium temperature which is attained by the two bodies. They will reach these bodies at a constant temperature. So this is the common temperature of the mixture of the two bodies. This is the common temperature attained by the two bodies. So they may ask the question. They may ask the question like this: if the hot water nearly at 100 degrees centigrade is poured into a vessel which is containing the water at 30 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees centigrade, what is the mixture of the temperature? What is the common temperature which is attained by the 2 meters? Means we can use the same formula which is said above the diagram. That is the same above the calculation. Explanation is the same formula we will use. So here is the m1 mass of the substance. We need to know a specific heat capacity of the the substance we need to know, the temperature of the initial temperature of the substance we need to know. Here is this liquid which is having that mass we need to know, specific heat of that liquid we need to know, what is the initial temperature of that liquid we need to know. After that we can easily find out the capital T value which is attained by the two mixture of the substances. That is our goal. So that's why we are calling this one, it is named. So will you please concentrate on this one. So the principle of calorimetry is built up on the basic principle of law of conservation of energy. So the principle of very important, the principle of calorimetry, and the principle of calorimetry is based on law of conservation of energy, law of conservation of energy. So energy, what is the law of energy, conservation of energy? Energy will conserve from one form to other form. Yes, the energy neither created nor destroyed. It can transfer from one form to other form. That means here is the energy is there, it is the lost, some energy is lost by the hot body, there must be appear into the another body, there must be appear the same energy into the another body. That is the energy, law of conservation of energy. One more time I am repeating this one. Some of the students, they may be eagerly feeling that what about these two bodies are in the surrounding, what about the some of the temperature, some of the energy will lost into the surroundings, they may feel like that. So here is the surroundings, they may air is there, air may not be so air may be grasp the some of the energy which is transferring from one body to other body, they may feel like that. But these conditions we are not discussing here, because we feel that the complete discussion is above discussion is felt that because we are taking the only the way there is no any surrounding, only two bodies are having without any surrounding. That means there is no any leakage of energy to the surroundings. Are you getting or not? Hello?
Okay, sir.
That point you need to remember here. That means if the energy is also dissipated into the surroundings, then attaining temperature might not be equal to the above equation. That equation may not be equal because of some of energy is lost into the surroundings. But the complete above discussion is felt that by taking the consideration, the two bodies only available, there is no any surroundings. Even the surroundings are there, there is no leakage of energy into the surroundings. Surroundings energy is not penetrating. That is a very important concept, important condition in this above discussion. Then we are moving to the another topic, very important topic only. Let me do the another topic. I hope there is no any issue about the discussion. No? It is very easy, simplest concept only. No issue. So if we have any issue means please keep it on your paper. We will discuss one by one your doubts. So please keep it on your paper. If any doubts is there, please keep it on your paper. Now I am going to another concept. Before dealing that concept, let me do one small experiment. See, I am taking the one of the ice pieces. I am taking here is the ice pieces which are in the 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius ice pieces I am taking. So these are the ice pieces I am taking. So I kept one of the thermometer to measure the temperature of these ice pieces. So I am reading this temperature. So what are the, just I am assuming that the temperature of the ice is 0 degrees Celsius. I am taking the 0 degrees Celsius is there. So you may feel that some of the interesting students, they may feel that if the 0 degrees Celsius is the ice is available, what about at 4 degrees Celsius ice is available or not? Is it available only? Okay, hello?
Yes, sir.
So that's why the condition is saying that the present ice pieces are having at the 0 degrees temperature. Now I am heating this total bowl with help of vessel, with help of the one constant temperature of the heat element. So I am supplying to the system to the heat energy by taking the constant temperature, constant heat energy supply. So first of all, this ice will be melt. After that, this ice will melt. After that, this ice will melt. So what is my observation is looking on this one. While they are melting there is no any change in this reading. It is showing the 0 degrees Celsius only. It is showing the 0 degrees Celsius only. So up to what time it will show? Up to last pieces, last ice piece will going to the melt. Up to that point, this reading will show the 0 degrees Celsius. Is it correct or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is it correct only, na? Is it correct only, na? That means what is our observation? Our observation is being that while the liquid, while ice is nothing but it is a solid substance. Ice is nothing but solid substance. It is converting to the liquid. It is water is nothing but it is a liquid. While it is transferring from solid substance to liquid substance, say it is happening at a constant temperature. Constant temperature, this total process is appearing. Are you getting or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So that means what is mean? See, this substance is changing its state. See, this is the solid state, it is the liquid state. So that means if the substance or matter is changes from one state to other state, there is no any change of heat. The heat must be constant. Heat must be constant. Now if we go to another value, so we got the water at 0 degrees water. So you already very familiar, water will available at 0 degrees. Now if you want to cool this water will go to the cool, they will become the ice pieces like this. Ice pieces will come. So the ice will also get the 0 degrees ices only. Here also liquid is converting to the ice. And also there is no any change in the temperature. Both are same. That means if the matter is converted to one state to other state, they may not be appear at the rise in temperature. Up to last particle will changes its state. So that means if you take it is the first ice piece, it is the last ice piece melting time. So up to last ice piece melting time, the temperature will not rise as. Up to that point will not rise. Here also, if this system, this total matter will attain the constant temperature up to last substance will get to the melt, get to the change its state. That time this process will be at a constant temperature. How many changing states are there? General case I am taking. How many changes are there? There are general, you are having the 3 states. One is the solid state, another one is the liquid state. Yeah, there are another one is the gaseous states are there. So there may be possibility to change the state from solid to liquid state. There may be possibility to change from liquid to gaseous state. We can come to the reverse case also. There may be change in state from gaseous state to liquid state. There may be change into liquid state to solid states. That means the change of states is named as in the physics. Another similarity word we will use. They will use the change of phase. Change of phase. They will use another one. It is nothing but change of state only. Change of state. Both are same. That is a synonym words. So that means there are two major change of states are there. There are two major change of phases are there. One is it may convert from the solid to liquid. It may convert to the solid to liquid, or it may convert to the liquid to solid also. Otherwise, it may convert to the liquid to gas. Hello?
Yes,
it can convert to the liquid to gas also. It can convert. So it can convert from liquid to gas. It will convert. Otherwise, it will come to the from gas state to liquid state also. So there is a possibility to change. There is two important phases changes are there. One is from solid to liquid. Another one is the liquid to gas, and reverse process also is allowable. So that is the thing. So that means you already know this one. If I am taking, this is the one big bowl. One big bowl is there. Let's assume I kept the nearly 1 kilogram of ice pieces is there. Now I am taking the one constant heat element is there. So I am supplying the heat energy to the system. So what I am taking, the constant heat element means the amount of heat is supplying to the system is constant in each interval of time. That means if 1 second the heat will the amount of heat is supplied to the system is, let's assume P. P is any variable, no? That's why I taken P is equal to amount of heat supplied in 1 second. So already I written here, once again I written here, read it. So 1 second. So that means I am observing this one. I am observing this one means just I am taking the one small example only. So I got so in my practical observation, I thought that the reading time is taken to get the complete melt of this ice species is nearly I got 30 minutes. 30 minutes time I got. Let's assume that let's take it as an example I am taking. Now I am going to the another bowl which is having bigger one, which is I taken 2 kilogram ice pieces I took. 2 kilogram ice pieces I took. Same element I kept here. Same element, heat element I kept. So to bring this total ice pieces into liquid state. So these are the ice pieces. Let's assume these are the ice pieces. I need to bring this total ice pieces into liquid state. Liquid state. So you feel that 30 minutes is enough or more than 30 minutes is needed? Yes, no, we are not concentrating on the time. Just I am asking, it needed more than or not? That is more than 30 minutes is needed. That means if the more time is required means we are supplying more amount of heat energy. Na?
Yes, sir.
So that is please analysis like that. So that means if mass is more, then to change the state of the substance, it must needed more amount of heat energy. Is it correct my conclusion?
Yes,
So my
sir.
conclusion I am writing here. If mass is more, so otherwise amount of mass. If the amount of mass is greater, then there must be more amount of heat required. More amount of heat required to change the state of the substance or matter, anything, nothing is there, no substance. So that means what is our conclusion? So if the mass is increased, if we want to convert the state of the matter, so we need to supply the more amount, means that means Q is directly proportional to the mass of the substance. Is it this only? The sentence is the
Yes, sir.
same only, the sentence. So that means it is doing at constant temperature. This will happen while changing the state is happening at constant temperature. This total is happening at constant temperature. Now while removing this proportional, I need
Sir,
to
voice
put.
breaking out, sir.
Okay. Let me fix that one, please. Wait 1 minute. I will fix that one. Only for you and all of the students. Hello? Remaining all of the students also same problem. Hello?
Sir, no, sir, no, sir.
No, sir.
No. That means you need to come to the very good networking area. Ma. Please come and please be on a good network area. So
No, okay, sir.
Work it done.
Okay, sir.
work it done. So now see here. So while I am removing this proportional, I need to put one proportionality constant L. L is the one proportionality constant M. So this complete information is telling that only for the change in state, na? Change in state, na? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So here L is labeled as the latent heat. Latent heat. So latent heat means latent will come into the role play while the substance is changing its state. One more time I am point outing here. The latent heat term will come into the play while the substance is changing its state. L will come into change in state. You already know the one of the formula, Q is equal to MC delta T. MC delta T, this formula. While this formula will come when it is the substance will not change the state, just it rise the temperature. Then this formula we need to use. The substance is at constant temperature but is changing its state. This formula will come. Are you getting or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So then, how can you define this latent heat formula definition? L is equal to Q by M. Just I send M to other side. So L will be Q when M is equal to unit. M is equal to unit. What is mean by Q? Q is equal to amount of energy. Q is nothing but amount of energy. Amount of heat energy. Amount of heat energy. Can we define this one? So this L is nothing but latent heat is nothing but it is the amount of heat energy given to the system to a unit mass of the substance to change its state. Its definition is perfect, na? So that can I write this definition? So the amount of latent heat definition is nothing but it is the amount of heat. It is the amount of heat given to the system so for unit mass substance what is doing with this energy? To change its state. So that means in the amount of heat, so while it is changing its state means at constant temperature. That means you may feel that why this definition is suitable to use whether the state is changing from solid to liquid, whether the state is changing from liquid to gas. So this will come. That means there is a possibility to have the two types of state changes. It may changes from solid to liquid. It may changes to liquid to gas. Changes is there. That means the latent heats are there. Are two types of latent heat definitions are there. So let me start with the first latent heat definition. First one, while the substance is changing from solid to liquid, the state is changing. So that means while the solid to liquid is changing means this process is named as the melting. This process is the melting we will name. Otherwise this process also we will name it as the fusion. This process also we will name it as the fusion. So that means in this process we are defining the L na. L means latent heat na. So that means this process we are defining that definition is latent heat of melting or fusion. So it is denoted with the small symbol LF. LF is the symbol for the latent heat of fusion, latent heat of the melting. How can we define this one? So same definition in above definition, what is it? It is the amount of heat energy required to change unit mass of the substance from solid state to liquid state at a constant temperature. Is the definition perfect? Na? So one more time, it is the amount of heat energy required. It is the amount of heat energy required to change unit mass of substance, unit mass of the substance where it is going, from where it is going, from
Solid to liquid.
from solid to liquid. At what temperature is doing? At a constant temperature. It is the name of the latent heat of fusion, latent heat of melting. So this is the definition. In the similar manner, there is a possibility if the body can transfer from liquid state to gaseous state are there. If the body is changing from liquid state to gaseous state, then it can go, huh? So then this process is named as the vaporization. So vaporization. Then in this process, one of the latent heat will come to play. That latent heat is nothing but latent heat of vaporization. So this is the latent. It is denoted with L of V, suffix V, L of V. So that means how can I define this definition? Same definition. I no need to write once again. Just in the above sentence, you need to put the liquid to gas. Same definition. No need to write once again. Once again I am writing. It is the amount of heat energy required to change the unit mass of the substance from liquid to gas at a constant temperature. Both same, na? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Done. So then you need to remember the two important constant values to solve the problems for a water, for a H2O. H2O I am taking. If ice is converting to water, so that is we will come across to the latent heat of the fusion. That value is equal to 80 calorie per gram. 80 calorie per gram. What does it mean, this value? So that means 1 gram of ice is needed to convert the 1 gram of water. How much amount of heat is required? 80 calorie. 80 calorie amount of heat required to melt the 1 gram of ice to water. That is the important. In a similar manner, so the latent heat of the vaporization value also is the latent heat of vaporization for water is equal to 540 calorie per gram. That means what is the value? 1 gram of water. To convert the 1 gram of water to vapor state, we need 500 calorie of heat energy. So that energy we needed, it is the latent heat of vaporization. So latent heat of water, vaporization value. Now you may get the doubt, what is the units of latent heat? Units of latent heat. Latent heat. What are the units of latent heat? For units means we need to get the basic formula, fundamental formula. L is equal to Q by M. So units means Q units is equal to joule. M SI units is equal to kilogram. That is equal to joule per kilogram units. It is kg unit. It is the SI unit. In a similar manner, what are the units for in a CGS system? CGS system is equal to what? Calorie per gram, or simply we will get erg per gram. We will name it as the erg per gram. That is 9. What is the dimensional formula for latent heat? Dimensional formula for latent heat here. So dimensional formula means we need to get the fundamental formula. So L is equal to Q by M. Q is nothing but energy. Energy dimensional formula is equal to ml square T power minus 2. So M is equal to mass dimensional formula M only. M cancel. So is there any issue? Nothing is there. So that is equal to m0 L square T power minus 2. It is the dimensional formula for the latent heat. Are you getting now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So that is the about the latent heat. One more time. Please repeat Please repeat once again.
Joules की m delta minus delta 1 का sir.
No. If you have any doubts, means I will go to the once again. Q is nothing but energy. Energy is nothing but work. Work is nothing but force into displacement. Force is nothing but MA is not MA into L. A is nothing but velocity by time. Velocity is nothing but displacement by time. Oh, something we yes sir. Velocity is nothing but displacement by again 1 by t is there into L, that is equal to m L square T power minus 2. Okay na? Hello? Okay, done. You that's why I am telling that no need to buy this one. You need to go to the basic formula to fundamental units. Fundamental units, if you move, then there is no any confusion in the diagram. What is the topic we are going to discuss means that is the very important topic to solve the problems, but is the very unimportant for your normal descriptive examination. So it is important to solve the problem. All problems is based on this upcoming topic. That means please concentrate on the topic. You need to use your brain also. That is the very, very important. So now what I am taking means if you want to change one of the substance, let's assume I am taking one of the substance here. So it is the ice pieces I am taking. Now I am heating this ice pieces by taking the constant amount of the heat energy supplied by the one heating element. Now I am measuring the temperature of this substance. I am taking the how much time is taken to melt these ice pieces. So that means I am taking the two types of reading. One is the how much temperature is getting in this substance, and also how much time is needed, how much time is taking in this substance. So I am taking the two readings. One is the how much time it is changed, how much temperature is raised the substance. That's why I am taking. If you draw a graph between, if I am taking the 1 kilogram of, if I am keeping the mass is at constant state, that is the mass I am not changing, I am not adding to the mass to the system, just I took some constant mass into the vessel, I am performing this experiment. So if you draw a graph between the temperature and time taken, in the temperature and time taken, that graph is named as the heat curve. So now we are going to the another important one. This is the it is the not important to the normal descriptive examination, but it is the very important to solve the problems. Very important. So heat curves. So heat curves is nothing but it is the graphical representation of the state of the substance by taking the time in the x-axis. Time I am taking the x-axis and temperature in the y-axis. Just I am taking the graphical representation. I am showing what is the state of the substance. What is the present temperature of the substance? How much time is needed to get this substance? That's I am representing. To draw this one, what is our needed means? So we need to take the temperature in time in x-axis and temperature in the y-axis. I am starting here. This is the graphical represent. Let me start here. So it is the time in x-axis. It is the x-axis. Now I am taking the y-axis is the temperature. Y-axis is the temperature. So before starting this one, I will introduce here. So this side I am taking your known substance. I am taking the water and ice. Now I am taking the H2O substance I am taking. So this is the generalized case of the graphical representation of any substance, but this side is the only water substance I am taking. So let's assume I will start with water at ice state. Ice state means, so will you please give the information. Ice will available at 0 degrees means the same ice will available at minus 10 degrees Celsius also, na?
Yes, sir.
So that means I am starting at negative temperature ice I am taken. I started with at negative temperature of the ice. So at negative temperature means this ice will be at the state of solid. Solid state will available. Are you getting that, not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So it is available at negative minus degree Celsius is there. Now I am supplying to the system with a constant heat element. So let's assume this heating element is supplying the heat energy. P amount of heat is supplied in 1 second. 1 second P amount of heat is supplied. Just P is the number. Let's assume any 2 calories, 4 calories, 5 calories. It is we are taking the generalized case. Na? That's why I am taking one of the variable. So now if we supply if we are supplying the P amount means so the solid will get the same solid state, but if the temperature will rise as minus 10 degrees Celsius to up to 0 degrees centigrade, ice is available. Is it correct only, na?
Yes, sir.
So that is graph means while your time is increasing, so the time is increasing, here is the time I am taking. It is the t0 time, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. I am taking like this. While time is increasing, the temperature of the ice will rises. First of all, we took the negative 10 degrees Celsius. Final temperature is the 0 degrees Celsius we observed. That means what is our observation? Our observation is the temperature is rises, but the state is same. Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Hello. I told you, please be concentrate on this topic. We need to use your brain. Then only we can easily understand about. Otherwise, you will get the some of the confusion. Please, concentrate here. What does it mean? So at the initial state, a solid is available. Then up to certain time, the solid will continue its state, but its temperature will rises. See, this is the temperature scale. The temperature will rises up to a constant value. So that means minus 10 degree.
Temperature constant గా ఉండాలి.
Yes. In this total process, is the pressure is a constant. Thank you. You're informing. I need to introduce that one also. Total this process is the total pressure is a constant. Pressure is kept at constant. Yes, please.
సార్ టెంపరేచర్ అనేది కూడా కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఉండాలి కదా సార్?
No. What I told you. No. Temperature will rises. Na? What is that means? If the time is going on, what I am telling, you can easily observe this one. So let me take one candle. Candle is the constant heat energy which is allowing to the. Let's assume it is the candle. So this candle is nothing but the amount of uniform heat element. Uniform heat element means P is in 1 second how much means 1 calorie. 1 calorie heat is releasing by the candle. So can you keep your hand in top of the candle which is lightning? Can you keep one hour? Can you keep your hand in 1 hour? No. Why? What is the problem here? So if the time is going on, the heat amount of heat is supplied to your hand is more. Is getting or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So that means the how much heating element is supplied to the system is constant, means it is not a constant throughout. That means in 1 second it will supply the P value, in the next second P is supplied, after next second 3. So if the 3 seconds means 3P will introduce, 4 seconds means 4P will introduce. This much heat energy, the temperature of the substance must be rises. Hello. So that means let me be. So this is the temperature of the rises. So let's assume it is a negative value we are started. After that we come across from any one of the value. So it is the T1 value, we reach up to the T2 value. So this substance is at a solid state itself. What I am saying, so this graph is representing, it is at from 0 to A. What is the 0 to A graph is saying? 0 to A graph is showing the temperature is a constant graph. Temperature is a constant graph. In this temperature is a constant mean, in which formula we need to use in this graph? Hello. Which formula we need to use? Our goal is to find out the amount of heat supplied to the system. Hello. Q is equal to some mass of the substance m into specific heat constant of the C into change in temperature delta. This only, na? Hello. Okay, please concentrate, ma. Otherwise, you may get the confusion. Let's assume this value is the change in temperature. Let's assume this is the change in time. So I already told you in 1 second, the heating element is supplying to the P calorie of heat. That means if you take the diagram, the time taken is equal to delta T time is taken. So in delta T time, how much heat will supply to the system? In delta T time, the amount of heat supplied to the system,
Delta T into P.
That is equal to delta T into P only. So this the 1 pen cost is equal to 2 rupees. 10 pen cost, what is the value is equal to 10 into 2. That is the same principle we are taking. So delta T into P. So this is nothing but heat which is supplied to the system Q only, na? Hello.
Yes.
So this Q and this Q is the both are same. This Q and this Q both are same. That is equal to Q into delta T is equal to MC into delta T. Please take care about here. It is the change in temperature. This value is equal to change in time. Hello.
Sir, change in time, heat required equal ఎలా అయింది sir?
No. This value P into delta T. So now it is okay na?
Q ఎలా equal అయింది sir?
Now one more thing. What I am taking. See what I told you. Will you please look on this diagram? See, this body is raising its temperature with help of the Q amount of heat energy. So I already told you, in 1 second P calorie of heat is supplied by the heating element. In 1 second P amount of calorie is supplied to the system. That means to do this process, how much time is needed? Delta T time is needed. In delta T time, how much heat will supply to the system?
Delta TP.
Delta T into P. That means to rise this temperature, we already know that is to rise this temperature with the amount of heat is absorbed by the system is equal to Q is equal to MC into delta T. Absorbed temperature is saying that Q, given heat energy is telling that Q delta T into P. So that is nothing but it is the supplied energy is equal to, they are telling that delta T into P. This is taken value is equal to Q value, saying both are same only. There is no any other source, ma. There is no any other source here. We are supplying the system to from the heating element only. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So now no doubt. So now I am going to the another one. Now if you look on this one, so I am sending this delta T this side. What will happen? Please look on. So delta T divided by small delta T is equal to MC by capital P. Capital P is equal to amount of heat supplied in 1 second. So will you please look on the graph? Please look at the graph here. So this is the y-axis. This is the y-axis mean delta y. This is the x-axis mean delta x. Delta y by delta x for a graph is equal to what will tell?
Slope.
Yes, slope of the graph. This value will tells that. Slope of the graph. Slope of the graph. They may ask everything in your examination. That's why I am pointing each and every time. Now the heat is required. Now if you go to the generalized case, now 0 degrees ice is available. If we supply the heat energy more, ice will start to convert to the water, na? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Ice ready to start to melt. So that means if we supply the heat energy, it is starting to melt. Up to some time it will melt. What is the time is needed? Why it is a needed time? That means it is needed to melt last ice particle also. Up to that time, the ice will constant temperature it will melt. If we take the small example, means here the 10 ice pieces are there. 10 ice pieces are there. In first time, first piece will melt. Second time, second piece. Third time, third piece. Fourth time. In the last time, last piece will melt. Up to that time, the ice will maintain the same temperature. Ice will come to the 0 degrees centigrade ice here. So 0 degrees centigrade water here. Are you getting or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, remaining students, it is a somewhat confused only, but if you are having the good concentration, it is a very easy subject only. So now what is here? Generalized case I am taking. So if the solid is start to melt, if the solid is starting to melt, up to certain time the solid will continue, it is melting. So up to certain time the solid temperature will constant. This line will show that at constant temperature will, but time is needed to melt the all solid particles. Are you getting or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So that means what is this curve will show? A to B will show that it's a constant curve. So that is the A to B graph is saying that. Now A to B graph is saying that it is on constant temperature. Constant temperature, what is doing here? The solid is started to melt. Solid is started started to melt. So up to last piece of the solid will melt, the substance will continue its constant temperature itself. So up to this will continue up to last solid particle will melt. Are you getting or not? Hello. So that means if this process is nothing but it is a change in state. It is a change in state. So let me write here. Yes. It is a change in state. In change in state means which formula we need to use here? Q is equal to L into M. L into M we need to use. But once again I need to remember. So if the time is taken for this one, if the time is taken delta T2, let's assume here is the diagram where it is. Yes, it is the delta T1 I believe. It is the delta T2. Let's assume take. So this is the time is taken delta T2 means how much it is supplied to the system. In this process, the time taken is delta T2. Then Q can be written as, hello. Let me write here the Q2. Don't get any confusion here. So let me start. I will introduce here Q1. It is the Q1. So this is the Q2. Now Q2 is equal to
delta T2 into P.
Delta T2 into P. Now I am substituting in this one. So delta T2 into P is equal to L into M. So with this formula we can easily find out latent heat of the substance. You will send the mass this side, you can easily find out the amount of. So please look on what is the slope of this curve? Slope of the graph is, what is the value?
Straight.
No, I am asking value, not straight line. What is the straight line slope? What is the formula for slope? Delta y divided by delta x. Delta y is nothing but y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So y2 minus y1 is equal to always constant. Same minus same is equal to 0. Slope is 0. Slope is there. So what is the position of the substance now? Is it liquid or solid? So here is this state is the liquid. This state is the liquid. So it is the change in state graph. This is the change in state graph. So what is the final position of this substance? Liquid state we got. Liquid state we got. Again we are going to the normal example. After that we will come to the generalized case. Now come to the normal position. So here is the water is available 0 degrees. Again we are heating the same water. Then it will start the rise the temperature. So it will rise the temperature. Again slope will started. Rising temperature. Up to what time it will go? Up to 0 degree centigrade to 100 degree water it will go. Are you getting or not? So that means here is liquid is there, here is the liquid is there, but rising temperature is there. But I am drawing the generalized case here. From B to C I am taking. From B to C I am taking here. So the liquid is rising its temperature up to certain value. The final position of the substance is also liquid state only. But how much time is taken in this process? Let's assume take T4. It is the delta T3. Now in this process, say there is a slope is there. Let's assume this is the temperature of this one delta T. This is the T1 means let's assume take delta T2. Again, what is the thing that B to C is telling that it is the temperature is rising. I am going to another one. The curve B to C is a rising temperature and temperature of the substance is changing. temperature of the substance is increasing. When the temperature of the substance is increasing, which formula we need to use? How much amount of heat absorbed? Q is equal to mc delta T2. Again we are going to another one. How much amount of heat is supplied to the system? So with help of Q, let's assume it is take the Q3. Q2, that is a Q3. Q3 is equal to P into delta T into T. 2 T. 3 Wait. Let me go to check. 3, delta T3. So delta T3. So delta 3. Again we can equate this one. That is equal to P into delta T3 is equal to MC delta T2 only na. Then again we are going to delta T2 by delta T3 is equal to MC by P. Again it will tell the slope of the curve. Here is the rising temperature. After that what is happening? After this what is happening? Now I am come to the generalized, so normal case. After that I will implement to the generalized case. Here is the water is available at 100 degrees centigrade. If I am continuing the supply of the heat to the water, what will happen? It will try to change its state. Water is converting to the change its state. Up to what temperature it will change its state? Final water molecule is converting to the vapor state. Up to that stage it will continue. So that means it will go to the another one. These are generalized case. If you go to here means so liquid is in the same. Liquid is changing. Liquid is liquid only. At final point it will convert to the vapor state. Vapor state it is going. So it is nothing but gas state it is coming. So that means it needed some time. So it will take T5. Now I am taking T4. So is there any change in temperature in this process? No, it is a change in state. What is the formula we need to use here? Q is equal to ML. Which formula? Which formula? I need to use here itself. It is the latent heat of vaporization. MLF we need to use. Vaporization we need to. Sorry, LV. So here which formula we need to use? Changing state of liquid. MLF. F we need to use this one. Which formula we need to use in this graph? MC delta T. In this formula, which formula we need to use? MC delta T. So MC delta T. Now if you go to the another stage, if you go to the another step, what is it stuck? Wait. Yes. Oh God. Now here, if you go to the now vapor is available at 100 degrees Celsius. Now if we are supplying a more amount of heat energy, then vapor will try to get the it will increase its temperature, na? It will try to increase its temperature, na? Hello, is it correct or not? Hello, 100 degrees centigrade vapor is available. If we are supplying the heat energy means the vapor temperature will rise, again it will rise its temperature. Are you getting or not?
Sir, vapor kuda temperature rise avutunda.
100%. What you are getting down? See, in the summer you are getting the vapor with 40 degrees Celsius. In winter same vapor you are getting only 20 degrees Celsius. That means you are getting the rising temperature in the vapor also, na? 100%, na? 100%. It will absorbing the heat energy will definitely show the on the vapor rising temperature also. So don't feel that this is the complete process is start. If you supply this, where it will go? Definitely it will rise the temperature itself. Now here also the temperature of the vapor is increasing. So that means it is increasing. So increasing the temperature. So this is the process. In this formula we need to use MC delta T formula. So this is the complete process of the complete process to solve the problem. To solve the problem, we need to use each and every step, which stages is crossing, which formula we need to use in this process. That is the take care about this one. So if you know this complete graph means you can easily solve the there are plenty problems are there. We need to attack that problem with help of this one. Let me stop here. 1 minute. Let me stop here. Please let me stop here.